You've obviously not seen this show before. You are absolutely not safe there. If I could ask you all to go to the back, please, and you're more than welcome to come up to the blue line, but not beyond.
Before you start, Jeff, I'm going to donate a new golf bag for you soon.
Friction used to sponsor me, so
That's a long time ago.
I'm available. Thomas?
And a Manchester City, what's all that about?
Do you know, I didn't expect you to heckle me. You're actually doing a really good job. Anyway, they say in the entertainment business that you visit a venue to perform twice in your career, once on the way up and once on the way down. It's wonderful to be back at Sandy Lodge, and just to get going, I think I'd like to hit a warm-up shot. Watch that, Thomas. You really haven't got the idea here, have you? Now, it's a very rare event in the world of professional golf for a shot as good as that to be greeted with. Thank you. 2 minutes too late, but never mind. I've been here quite a while. I've been watching you come and go, and I've been watching you drift up to the practice ground and then drift back again. What a complete waste of time that is. I've actually had quite a unique warm-up. It doesn't take long, and it's a great way to intimidate the opposition and get yourself ready for the onslaught that is about to befall you. Are there any questions?
Do you take penalties?
There will be some of you that think I'm using just one club, but I'm not. Watch carefully. And what a great way to loosen up and get yourself ready for. It's all right. So then you're ready for the hardest shot of the day, which is last one. I think the first one. Exactly. Now, most golfers slice. See your hand for slice. Other golfers lie. Now, if you've got a slice, or you or I, we might just aim straight down at the pylon there. A slicer is going to wait till the second green is clear, aim at that, and hope then that the natural curve of his ball brings it somewhere near the fairway. Now there will be one or two of you thinking, I've no idea what bloke's on about. That looked pretty straight to me. But golfers always want to hit the ball from right to left, don't they? That's what you really want. And that's a waste of time too. Unless, of course, you try it this way. That's all right, it's coming. And don't pretend you wouldn't take that off. Now, how do you cure a slice? Anyone know? Well, stop playing. Well, if you've got this fella back with you, he's going to have to learn a bit of balance, isn't he? So, what better way to learn balance than with a gallery of 100 people? It's all right, it's not a penalty, it's no problem. Now, interestingly, the first time I did this, I broke a rib. Yeah, lucky for me it wasn't one of mine. There was a guy standing just Now, we have a little rule in what is known as trick shot golf. If you hit a decent one first time, walk away and introduce our special guest. Ryder Cup player, Ryder Cup captain, second place in 3 major championships, none other than Denmark's greatest player, Thomas Bjorn. Thomas, you've played with loads of hackers in your life, I would have thought.
Certainly.
Have you got any advice for them?
No.
Not that any of them, are here now. Well, one question that everybody really wants to know is probably how to hit a driver like a tour professional. How about that?
But you can't. So
Or just in play and straight sometimes.
Yeah.
What would be your advice for the average golfer with a driver?
Yeah, but I think that the one thing that in today's game is that everybody tries to hit it so hard, and the golf equipment doesn't really allow you to do that unless you have a straight golf swing. But what it does do is it allows you to actually hit it very smoothly and not having to do too much. So if I stand up and hit a driver, and what people try and do is they try and gain distance. I see all these players on the TV hitting it miles, and I was commentating last week and I saw something I've never seen before. They hit it so far. But when I get on if I take one of these trackmans, and they have trackmans and they have back squat, and they all have sort of measure and do all this. If I stand up and I hit it as hard as I can to just swing it within myself, I gain 7 or 8 yards. That's how much it gains. So watching amateurs hitting it hard, hitting it full out, but you're going to gain nothing. You're only going to gain distance from hitting the ball well. So that's what the pros do. They do hit it hard, but they also hit it well. You gain a lot more from hitting it well. So always swinging within yourself is the one thing that's going to give you more than anything, and then try and hit it well. This is the first drive in 12 days.
Unreal.
That was good. Who are you again? Who would like to see that again?
Well, I used to draw the ball, but as I got older, I actually do like the fade now. It's a lot easier to hit when you get older. So I tend to try and just aim it down the left. Cut it back in. Longer than yours.
That's beautiful. No, that's beautiful. Now, Thomas, is it true to say that most players play a shape?
Yeah, they do today. And most of them tend to try and hit a cut today. The equipment today allows you to hit it at distance. So when you go back in time, people always wanted to hit a draw because it gave you more distance. The stronger fade, the ball flight will give you more distance. But today, with the golf balls and the equipment, the fade actually goes through the conditions as well as a draw. So most players love to hit a fade.
And presumably you started with wooden wood, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah. And do you think that gives you an advantage, certainly on links courses and where shot making is a freedom?
Yeah, I think it does. It certainly gives you an appreciation of when you get on links courses, especially, you have to strike has to be there. So that kind of mindset you had with a wooden driver, you stood up, it was all about the strike and not so much about what I was trying to do. That gives you, on a links course, that's definitely something that comes out.
Last driver, we've seen the straight one, we've seen the fade. Are you going to run up at it?
So I'm not sure I can do this.
Yeah,
Never want to
we'll give you that. We'll give that.
right. It's straight though.
I mean, Thomas, as a coach, one of the things that I think golfers should really learn a lot from is that knockdown shot that the pros are so good at. We saw a lot of at the Orchard. Can you give us a couple of those with an iron, a mid-iron of some sort, and explain a little bit about how you do it? Because one of the things you guys should learn is a three-quarter knockdown shot.
Well, so we all talk about hitting different kinds of flights with a golf ball. There's really only 3 flights. There is your normal flight, there's a high one and there's a low one. In a way, so if I stand up and I hit my normal flight, that's kind of the height I want in conditions like this. If I stand up and I say, okay, we want to hit it high. Well, I move it forward in the stance, gives me a little bit more loft. There's a high one. Never really use it very much, but the one you do use, and the one you would have liked to have seen more of last week, conditions was probably a little bit too good for it. Yep. It's the low one. Well, there's a lot of ways to do that, but the one way I always tell amateurs to do it is move it only fractionally back in your stand. It's not a long way back, it's just fractionally, and then grip down on the club. So if I take a 6-iron and I grip it down to my right thumb just before it touches the steel, it really, for me, goes the length of a 7-iron. And that's all you have to do is grip it down and swing it normally. And there's your low shot. Now, that's the easy way to do it. If you want to, you know, I tend to, on links courses, we start looking at how do we want the ball to release. Well, that one it will just roll. If I really want it to release, I'll put it back in the stands and try and hit the low draw, and then I get a little bit more release when the ball lands. And the other way, I don't want as much release on a low shot. I'll try and hit the fade, but still low, and that doesn't land as hard. When it goes, it has a little bit more stop to it.
And what about pitching, Thomas, and the wedges that you see that the guys play? I was at Royal George on Friday, and one thing that really stood out is how low they hit wedges and half shots. Is that part of the same thing?
Yeah, but it's all about striking, you know, so strike and pace. So the one thing that happens when you pitch a golf ball, if you don't have pace and you don't have strike, the ball's going to pop up in the air. So when you stand over the ball and you kind of go slow and you go, the ball will not react the way you want to do it. So what professional golfers do is that they use their body a lot more than amateurs do. As soon as you get close to a green, you just want to do it with your hands because you don't want to go very far. But actually, all the best pitchers and wedge players in the world, they don't use their hands, they use their body to control the flight. So I really try and take my wrist action out of play and just do it with my body only. And this is the reason, so if you look consistently across golf, and this doesn't apply to every single golf, but consistently across golf, long hitters, pretty poor wedge players. The reason they're poor wedge players is when they get to the top of the backswing, they have a lot down cock of the wrists. And when they get here, the body is not moving at the pace it does with the long club, so now they pop it. That's why Rory's a poor wedge player. I look at him all the time. That's why he goes this way with his head, his hands go this way. Now his body's not moving very quick, so he's throwing his hands at it. So if you look at it, all his bad wedges are long and left. But his body is stopped, the hands take over, the face is shut, and he goes long and left. But that's a consistent thing, general in golf. Long hitters are not great wedge players, but short hitters, great wedge players, they have. So what you want to have to hit it a long way is you want to have a lot of this in your hands to the driver. But the short players, people that hit it nowhere, like I don't hit it very far. I have no down cock of my wrist with my driver, so I then can't hit it very far.
And Thomas, would you say, generally speaking, faders of the golf ball are better than hookers or drawers of the ball?
I think best wedge players are drawers of the golf ball. And the reason they're drawers of the golf ball is that as soon as you fade it, you put more spin on it, you don't control your landing. So when you draw the ball with a wedge, it lands, it skips forward and it stops. When you fade the ball, it lands, it skips forward and it spins back. Now, when we watch it, we think, well, that looks great. But actually controlling your ball flight with a wedge, you're better to draw it.
Very good. And tell us, what would you say your strengths were as a player?
I was one of the best wedge players. You know, from 50 yards to 100 yards, I was one of the best players in the world at my peak. And that was always the game I controlled. So I would always, you know, I would take take advantage of par fives in a different way than other players. I would rely on my short game and my wedge play, and that always kept me in form.
And what about trick shots?
Do one.
We did talk about this before. I haven't just sprung that on it. You did offer to do one before.
I think I can do that one.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I can't do all of that.
All right.
Right, it's your driver though.
So I'll lend you a driver. It is completely a pile of rubbish. There you go. And I tell you what we'll do, guys. Yes. I mean, Ryder Cup captain and all of that, but this is a different thing. Thomas, if you come out and if you like, we'll do this together as the grand finale. One left-handed, one right-handed. Have a few practice swings. You guys can weigh up whether he has a chance or no chance. Just a practice, Thomas. Do you want to come back here again, Thomas? You like it here?
You asked me.
I know I did. And you should have been watching that because you saw how deep the divots were. Ball first, turf second, not the other way around. One of my greatest things as a teacher is we want you to hit up at your driver and down at your chips. And you behind your irons. And most of you do the total opposite. But anyway, lovely to see such beautiful divots, Thomas. Right, here we go. Count us down. 3, 2, 1. On one.
3, 2, 1.
Oh! You are greatly mistaken. Thomas, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Before you go, we have some general announcements about the form of play. I hope you enjoyed that short finish. I'm Jeromy Dale, he was Thomas Bjorn. This is Ben.
Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone, welcome to Sandy Lodge. I just wanted to give you just a short briefing on the format of play today. So today it's a team Stableford, best 2 scores from 4. It's 90% handicap allowance, and the best 2 scores from 4 apply to every hole apart from the 18th, where Thomas Bjorn's score will be added to the group total. We also have Jeromy Dale stationed here on the first tee where you can elect to use his drive, so that might be helpful to